With Joe Cran, Sheffield Wednesday journalist for the Star.
For now.
yeah. For how long?
This is my last game in person.
No way.
But more about that later.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
So we're doing a little video today on obviously league table position. Where do you think Sheffield Wednesday will finish this season and why?
It's tough, innit? You know, I think people look at the way last season finished, and it was, the way Danny's time went. It was sort of 6th, 8th around there. But I think with the squad as it is now, I think 12th, 13th. I think that would be about right for the work that's been done. I don't think we're too far away from having a couple of players that could push that up. I think if you said this season was going to be a title push, I'd be surprised. I think if you said it was going to be a relegation scrap, I'd be surprised. But anything in between there, I think is entirely feasible based on how this division is. But yeah, I think for me, 12th and above is kind of where Wednesday are aiming for.
Yeah, I think we're a few players short of really pushing on to even further and maybe dreaming about the playoffs. But like I say, I think that would be a comfortable season from
You just want to be in and around it, don't you? You want to get to sort of March, April and still have something to play for.
Yeah, although it won't be too bad. Nothing to play for, nothing to worry about.
Well, I think we're going into the last few games, it would be quite nice to go into them with nothing to play for, because it's been stressful, hasn't it?
Yeah. Wednesdays never do things by half, though.
Certainly not.
Obviously, transfer dealings, rate it out of 10, and why that reason?
I think I'll go for a strong sort of 7 at the moment. We've still got a bit to do. I think there still needs to be work done in terms of outgoings as well as incomings. Wednesday need to sort of balance the squad a little bit. They have got too many players at this point in time. I was in Germany and they played 27 players in that game against Werder Bremen, so they need to do some work there. I still think they do need maybe 3 or 4 in, but I think 7 for the work done so far. There's about a month left of the transfer window, and I do think Wednesday have done well. We're in this weird stage now because Wednesday got so much done so early. People are starting to get a bit antsy now. Whereas if you'd spaced that out over the whole window, people maybe wouldn't be so bothered. Because it got done so quick, we've now had this little lean spell, and people are like, give me more signings.
Get greedy, don't we?
Yeah, exactly.
And key players that you think are going to be ones to watch that's going to make a difference this season for Sheffield Wednesday?
Always Barry Bannon. I think always Barry Bannon. It's been the case since he's been at the club and will continue to be. I think James Beadle's going to be a really exciting watch this season. Deshaun Bernard's going to be important for Wednesday this season. I think there's certain players that we know what they're about, but in terms of the new signings, I'm really interested to see what Jamal Lowe brings to the party. I've seen bits of him over the summer. He looks like something Wednesday haven't had before. I think that he's a player that could come in and really make a difference for Wednesday. Max Lowe as well. There's so many players. I mean, Jan Valery I thought looked brilliant against Werder Bremen in the second sort of 60 minutes that he played. I just think there's a lot of players that are very interesting prospects for this season. Yeah,
top man, appreciate your time and all the best to whatever is coming your way in the future, because you're going to be missed by a lot of Sheffield Wednesday fans, because you cover the club really well, mate.
I'll still be on the beat. You won't be losing me completely, mate. I'm actually moving overseas, so that's why I won't be here. But I'll still be dipping my toes in the Wednesday beat for sure.
Top man, legend.
Cheers,
Thank you very much, mate.
Well, right. You asking me some questions about Wednesday here, and I might want to get into them. Where do you think we will be in the league table? Now, with how Wednesday's done the business, I kind of want to say that we've done enough to get us at least mid-table. Anything mid-table is a massive improvement from last season. If you actually look at our form from last season going into it, it would have put us about 8, but last season means nothing right now. But anywhere around 10th or 12th, I'd be happy with. I reckon our transfer dealings this summer have been around about a 7 to 8. But I say 7. If you get Ugbo and that another striker in, I think you can be able to say it's at least a 9. The fact that we got things in quickly, that's the key to this one. We got things in quickly, something we didn't do last season. I think at the day of I'm recording this, we signed Bambo last season, and we've already got 9 players in. I think it's really good. Player to watch for the season is, I'm going to go with Masaba. I think Masaba this season is going to have a breakout year. I thought last season was good, but now he's started to get to grips with what the championship is. And I think he'll just be behind someone like a Gassama. But I think Masaba is going to be the player to watch out for this season. But don't not look out for people like Ingolson who've just come in. But thanks for the question, mate. Let's have a good season and let's have a good one on your channel. Like, subscribe to Lee's channel. Much appreciated if you could do, because he's absolutely amazing.
Right, so 3 quick fire questions on Sheffield Wednesday this season. League table finish, I'm going to go for 8th. I think we'll have a late surge or a really fast start, but I think an 8th place finish after the last 2 seasons of excitement will be a very, very modest finish, so would be delighted with that. Rate the transfer window. Well, I think it couldn't be any more positive, to be fair. It's everything unlike Sheffield Wednesday that we've known of recent years, so I think we can be chuffed to bits with it. I'm going for an 8 out of 10. And I'm only going for an 8 out of 10 because I think we do need 2 or 3 more. I'd love to get up above that line, but I think from a window itself, I think it's been absolutely superb. Question 3, player to watch. Where do you start? I think it could be a standout season for some of the players from last season. Windass, Deshaun Bernard. I think Windass, if fit, is one of the best players in the league. The goals he scored last season had a huge part in us staying up. I think if fit, he's one of the best in the league. So it could be him, it could be a Deshaun Bernard, it could be one of the new boys in Kabaki who's going to be a talent, or Ingolson looks a real player. But I'm going to go for Deshaun Bernard. I think he's superb, and I think he will definitely at some point go on to bigger and better things, which is brilliant for us. But I think from a new signing point of view and a player himself, I think he'll have a really solid standout season. So yeah, Deshaun Bernard.
So Wednesday have had a big rebuild at the core of their squad this summer, and it's been quite interesting. We're finally seeing what a Danny Rohl team is actually shaping up to look like. And so, with all of that in mind, with the sort of business that we've done, like getting Max Lowe in, Olaf Kabaki in, and others that are incredibly talented and have shown real good signs in pre-season, I think I might predict the final position of them. And I actually might be daring enough to say I think we could finish 7th and actually finish in that real high top half of the table. And you know what? That might be ambitious, but I don't care. I think we can aim for that this season. Yes, it may have been only just surviving relegation last season, but with the way that we were playing at the end of last season and with who we've signed to strengthen that squad, I actually think that might be possible, frankly. And I also would say that out of 10, I think the transfer deals we've done, I would probably rate a 8 out of 10, just because some have not managed to happen, and others have dragged out endlessly, seemingly until the end of time. So it's not quite a 10 out of 10, just because of who we've potentially missed. But every single signing I've been very excited about. And I think the player to watch this season for us is going to be one that we all really took to last season, and that is Deji Gassama. I think he's going to be really excellent this season, after having last season to bed into the English football system and get used to the physicality and all that sort of thing. I think he's going to be a real exciting player to watch this season for us.
Where I think we'll finish this season, I think after the pre-season that we've just had with the manager that we've got and the shape that we're in compared to last season, I think there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic. I know that if you, again, even though Danny Rohl's in, you look outside of the sort of the local press and where we think we are on social media. There's still a lot of people that have got us in the lower ends of mid-table. I don't think that's where we're going to be. I think we'll be in a lot better shape than that. Cautiously optimistic, head and heart. I think my heart says that we'll finish in the top sort of 6 to 8, anywhere between 6th and 8th. My head says realistically, I'd say 10th to 12th. He's probably, the more realistic of the two. So I'm going to plump for us finishing 10th. Transfer-wise, I think we've done some good business. I think we've recruited well. I think you look at the the players that we brought in compared to the players that we brought in last year. And as we're sitting here now, 6 days away from the first game of the season, we've still not signed anybody on loan other than the goalkeeper, so there's still some business to be done. At the time of me doing this, we've still not secured or otherwise Ugbo. We don't know what's happening with Ugbo. Hopefully we can get that one over the line as well. But I think the players that we've recruited and brought in, they look promising pre-season. They've come from decent backgrounds largely. We've recruited Premier League players as well as players from the continent that are going to be a level up from what we've moved on and what we've released. So giving it a rating out of 10. We haven't got that 20 goal a season striker over the line yet, but other than that, I don't think there's too much missing. Still a little bit light in midfield. I think if anything happens to Bannon or Ingleson, as things seem to be sort of shaping up at the moment, I worry a little bit about where we may be there. I'm assuming he's going to play Palmer in the middle of the park, but yeah, rating it, I'd say we're probably, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, definitely. Player to watch for this season. Optimistically, I'm hoping that we're singing the praise of Jamal Lowe come the end of the season, because he scored 15 goals. He looked the part when we played against Leganes on Saturday. Not 100% match fit, not entirely there, but yeah, we've signed a player that has got a proven track record for scoring goals that get teams out of leagues and get teams into the Premier League. Or there or thereabouts. So I'm hopeful that Jamal Lowe will give us double figures in terms of return in front of goal, and we'll be that guy that leads the front line if we don't get anybody else in. So yeah, I'm going Jamal Lowe.
Right, so I think for Wednesday this season, I think we'll have a decent season. I think we'll probably finish around top 10. Maybe make a little bit of a late push for the playoffs, but I don't see us getting in them, unfortunately. But I do think we'll have a decent season. I think we've got a very good manager with Danny Rohl. I think the key player for this season for me, definitely Deshaun Bernard. I think the lad's class. He's probably the best centre-half we've had at Hillsborough since Des Walker. He's that good. And I think the signings we've made so far this summer, without knowing too much on them, I've seen little bits of them in pre-season, look all right, look decent. I think we still could do with adding to the squad. Don't think it's quite ready, if that makes sense, but I think we still definitely need a centre-half. 100% still need a centre-half. I'm not convinced Bambo Diaby, Inekwe and Famuel are all good enough to back up Iorfa and Bernard. So yeah, centre-half could possibly be an issue. I think we've got some good full-backs. I think centre midfield as well, we definitely need to add centre midfield as well. We'll look a little bit lightweight in terms of centre midfield. I think we've got some good wingers, Gassama, Masabro. I think we'll have good seasons this season, and I think we definitely 100% need to add a couple of strikers. I don't think we can just rely on Jamal Lowe this season. I don't think Smith's good enough at Championship level, unfortunately. I like Smith as well. I just don't think he's going to get enough goals. I think Caramarchi is a very, very good prospect, but for me, centre half and strikers are definitely an issue at the minute. So if we can sort that out, I think we'll do all right this season. Yeah, definitely.
Hello, mate. In answer to your questions, I would probably say, where do we finish this season? I'm gonna go for playoffs. I think we need to be ambitious with the signings we've made this season. The form we finished on the latter part of last season was incredible, and I would probably say that's close to playoff form anyway. So I would be well happy with a top 6 finish. Getting in the playoffs would be unbelievable. Even contesting up there would be insane. Transfer business this year, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. I think we've got off the mark early. We've not waited. We've not reacted to the transfer market. Spent well, and we've picked up some cracking players. Max Lowe, Shalabar. I think they've been really good, and I think they look good for the season ahead. Good experience. So yeah, and we've added on top of a good team already. So optimistic. Key player for us this season, I'm still gonna go with Windass, because I think he was brilliant last season. He's a top class player, and with the right players around him, I think he can be top quality. I think he deserves to be sort of top Championship, if not Prem. Mindset's key, and yeah, like I said, players around him. If we can just get some support for Bannon in the middle, because obviously Vokes has gone, we've got rid of Byers. Just need to get that kind of strength in the middle. I think Shalabar hopefully will get there. I think we'll be perfect.
Where do you think the Owls will finish this season and why?
I think they'll finish 12th actually, because I think Danny Rohl's getting the right type of player in to push us up the league.
Rate our transfer business out of 10. Why?
I'd give it a 9 out of 10 because of the right type of players. The way I like football is pacey players, and that's what he's bringing in.
Who will be our key player for the Owls?
For me, the technical player out there that we've just signed is Jamal Lowe.
Where do you think Sheffield Wednesday will finish this season?
10th.
Who's your favourite signing at Summerfin?
Jamal Lowe.
Who do you think will be best player next season?
Paul Valentin.
Alright, Lee around the grounds, Pearson. Hope you're well. Right, league position. Heart says top 1. Head says 10th. I'll be happy with 10th. We'll be a lot better than last season. I don't think we'll be any danger whatsoever. I think people are getting maybe a bit carried away thinking that we're going to get promoted, but I'll be happy with 10th. Anything on top of that's a bonus. Transfer window. I'll go 7 and 7.5. We need a striker, and I think it'll have been a very good window, particularly with the contracts we've renewed. Dish and Windass were important, but we need a striker. Hopefully Ugbo. Obviously not seen enough of the new lads yet, but trust Danny Boy to sign who he wants, to be honest. And third question, I can't remember what it was, but I have now a player to watch this season. I'm going to go for Masaba. I think he was a bit hit and miss last year, but he came up with big moments when we needed it. A full pre-season under roll. I think Masaba will be good. Another one, and this is more of a heart than head, but we'll go for Max Lowe. And I think that's just because I want him to be right good, because of where he's come from, and because he didn't want to play for them today, which is why he was injured all the time. Alright mate, take care, bye.
Hello around the grounds, my friend. Thanks for having me in this video. Now, the 3 questions you asked me. For the first one, where do I think Sheffield Wednesday will finish in the league this season? Now, that is currently resting on whether we sign one Ike Ugbo, which I'm sure many Wednesday fans will say. I've got to go off the fact that we might not sign him. It could fall through. It's looking, I would predict us a lot higher than this. But for this video, for the sake of this video, I'm going to say Sheffield Wednesday without Ike Ugbo finishing 11th. That's where I feel we'd get goals from elsewhere, but I think we need that poacher style finisher, and we need that link up he had last season. In terms of our transfer business, I think it's been a solid 8 so far. That would creep up to a 9 with Ugbo, I think. If you compare it to our recent history, we've brought players in good and early, getting them in for a pre-season. We've had key positions filled. We got Beadle back in goal on loan. We've also signed a reserve keeper from the National League who's meant to be quite a prospect himself down there. He's highly rated, so obviously that's a gamble, but he is a reserve keeper. It's a position we need to strengthen. Nathaniel Shalabar, for me, is one that's actually might have gone under the radar a little bit. I think he could be a really good bit of business. I know there was some question over his performances at West Brom, but I feel like there is still a great player in there. And again, that's a position we needed to fill. I won't list every player in this video, but keep an eye on Ingleson as well. He's one I think might surprise a few this season. So yeah, based off what we've done so far, I'd say a solid 8 for Wednesday. You know what? I'm going to throw a curveball for your video. It would be easy to say Ingleson because I think he will be a player to watch. But for a player to watch, I'm going to go with Akinfamio because I'm basing that off one performance he had in pre-season. But I've always felt there's a player in there and there's too many mistakes when he gets done at the near post on his left. That tends to happen quite a lot. If Danny can work some magic, I reckon Famio could be a player to watch and improve this season. That's my controversial shout for this video.
Hello, it's Holly from the Wednesday Week. Where do I think Wednesday are going to finish this season? So if you'd have asked me at the end of last season, I think I'd have said just please, for the love of God, give us a season where it's just plain sailing and we're not having to stress out until the very final minute. And I'd have accepted that. However, the closer it gets to the start of the season, any football fan that at this point, the week that the season starts, that doesn't think that this is the season, then what do we go for? If you can't be really, really excited about it now, before anything's happened, before we've completely ruined it 10 minutes into the first day, that's what it's all about. So it's a bit of a head versus heart thing. I sort of think at the best, am I hoping for maybe like a top 10 finish, which I think is what Danny Rohl and Chris Powell have said. But really, do I want to just say that this is actually it and we're going to go all the way? I think that's what I'm going to go for. Until they prove me wrong, which may be very, very soon, I am absolutely, completely on board with it, okay? Transfer signing wise, again, like, we have had seasons where transfer windows have come and gone, and I've not even watched it because we don't sign people, or we sign people and you think, oh God, why have we done that? And this time I feel like a kid at Christmas that went through the Argos catalogue and circled stuff and somehow managed to get everything that they wanted. It is not Wednesday at all to make 10 signings before the season started. It's not Wednesday at all to make 10 signings where every single one of them you go, oh, actually, this could be good. Even best case scenario, I thought maybe like a couple of those. But obviously we're still holding out for a striker, which I think everybody knows who we might want in that regard. But it's been a good summer. It's been a good summer. So, 9 out of 10 for the signings so far. Fingers crossed we're getting a striker as well, just to make it the real deal. And then link back into it's happening. We're going to do it. Look, I'm getting excited about it now. And then player to watch. It's hard to say because we just don't, because we've made so many signings, like we just don't know. A part of me thinks Dijon Bernard is just going to be amazing again, and it's not unthinkable that he might be really good and somebody might come and nab him. I can't even believe that we're talking about that so early on, but maybe we'll just be absolutely storming the league by then and nobody will even, we won't prize him away from them. I don't know. I think Dijon Bernard is going to be my one to watch, and a couple of the new signings have looked quite interesting. I'd like to see more of Ingelsson and Kabaki. I think they're going to be different to what we're used to, so I'll also be keeping an eye out for them. But yeah, it's for once, I don't want to jinx it, but for once, it's actually all good in the hood, isn't it? It's all, the planets are aligning a little bit. If you can't get excited now, this is potentially the most exciting pre-season that we've had in, like 10 years, 20 years? Like, when was the last time that the planets aligned like this for Wednesday? When was the last time that we kept a good manager, or even had a good manager? We had a wish list of who we wanted, and then we signed them. And good things keep happening. I'm waiting for something to happen that's not quite that, but I'm not jinxing it yet. Come on!
Where do you think the Owls will finish this season and why?
I think 7th or 8th. Hopefully we can try and get in playoffs, but yeah, he's definitely an improvement from last season, that's for sure. You can definitely see what he's trying to do, so yeah, hopefully we just kick it off with a bang.
Rate our transfer business out of 10 and why?
It's hard to tell at the minute, but after seeing what I've seen so far, they look like there's some promising players, so hopefully it's a lot better this season.
Who will be a key player for the Owls?
key player, well, I think it's going to be Jamal Lowe. Obviously he's got the experience and the quality going forward, so that's what we need. I just still think we need some goals, so hopefully bring some more additions in.
Hello, so this is John from the Wednesday Week, and been asked a few questions for a video, so I'd like to post my answers here. So in terms of where Sheffield Wednesday will finish in the upcoming season, I'm going to stick with Danny Rohl's prediction of aiming for a top 10 finish. So in fact, you know, with that in mind, I'm actually going to say that I believe Wednesday will finish in 10th position, shy of the playoff places, but, you know, crucially well clear of the relegation places. I believe we've made some good strides in the off season, and Danny's done made some shrewd moves, and should see us comfortably, barring an injury crisis, away from the relegation places. And I'm going to go for a 10th placed finish for Sheffield Wednesday this season. In terms of rating our transfer dealings so far on a scale of 1 to 10, then currently I'm going to put that around 7. I think we've brought back some players that we wanted to bring back, barring, you know, Pervader's gone to Sunderland, and we're still in the mix for Ugbo, which we really hope we can bring back. He really fits the team well, fits Danny's style, and he's a good age. We seem to be focusing on players with a good upside and potential resale, which is absolutely smart business. So I'm going to go for, as it stands, I'm going to go for a 7 out of 10, but I'm hopeful that that will improve and push to hopefully 9 or even 10, with the window not closing until obviously the end of August, and I'm hopeful that you'll see some crucial loans come into the club by that point, where, you know, Premier League teams will trim the 25-man squad and players will open up to be available for loan. So hopefully Danny can use his contacts. It appears to have very good contacts, and, you know, a lot of credit to our head scout, Beadle, head of recruitment, sorry, that we can maybe bring in some young talent from, you know, either from the Premier League or abroad to, you know, just flesh out the side a little bit more, add a little bit more quality. And yeah, so as it stands, 7, but I think there's the potential there for it to be more. And finally, in terms of players to watch for next season, then, or the player to watch for next season rather, than I'm going to say that I would keep my eye on Anthony Masaba, who had a decent season last season, scoring and assisting well. He's a young lad from Netherlands, and he's done well in Danny Rohl's system, and I believe he can make a jump to the next level this upcoming season. So watch out for Anthony Masaba for Sheffield Wednesday next season, because I believe he's a player who's trending in the right direction, and I believe he will be a key player in our system moving forward for the current season coming up, whether we're playing 4-2-3-1 or, you know, 5-3-2. He's interchangeable on the wings with another young promising player in Jedi Gassama. But yeah, Anthony Masaba is my pick for the player to watch for Sheffield Wednesday next season. Thank you, and up the Owls.
Evening, Lee. Thank you for the invitation for me and my dad to be on the YouTube channel and for the viewers to see. Where do you think we'll finish in the table?
Obviously, Wednesday had a really strong finish to the season. If you look at the form calendar, we were right up there. Whether we can do it again, obviously the Championship is a really tough league. Obviously, I think we might be around there. 8th, 7th, I think we might be able to get there. But if we get a couple of loans in, the ground running, maybe we can sneak a playoff, and who knows what can happen. Anything that can happen is a bit of a magic playoffs. What about you?
I think 10th, because signings have been good, but we do need a couple of loans, maybe like from the Premier League stronger sides. Like if some of their players they don't really use could fit well in the Championship, we could get them. What do you think about our transfer window out of 10?
Transfer window out of 10. Obviously, we have spent a bit of money. Obviously, with wages and things like that. I think 8 out of 10. If we could get a few loans, who knows what's possible. And then hopefully we can get a striker over the line like Ugbo. And it'll be absolutely amazing, more than we could ever imagine.
8 out of 10, but if we get over 10 out of 10, but as well, like Valerie is a good signing. Everyone's been a good signing because like they give other players competition to try and get in that first team. Who do you think will be play to watch?
Play to watch for me, obviously got to be Charlie McNeil. Hopefully, I can't see him starting at the beginning of the season, but if he comes on, he's going to obviously be a young attacker, eager to get on the pitch. If he can come on, score a couple of goals off the sub bench, make his position in the first team, I think he can go from strength to strength and hopefully push Wednesday up the table. Who's your play to watch?
Gassama, because he didn't get lots of stats last season because of the competition, but now I feel like he'll break onto the scene.
Thank you very much, Lee. Up the Owls. We'll be there on Sunday cheering us on. Looking forward to the season. Come on Wednesday.
Bye.
Thank you for everyone that participated in this little bonus video. Fellow Wednesday fans, yeah, great to see what everyone's views, where we're going to finish, and on the transfer dealings. Yeah, I think the excitement is building, so I just wanted to put this little video out, which will be published Thursday before the big kickoff on Sunday. I'm excited. I know fellow Wednesday fans also echo that excitement, and yeah, so I just wanted to do this little video and see how everyone's feeling towards the season. So I best answer the questions myself. Where do I feel Sheffield Wednesday will finish this season? So in my predictions, I've got us 10th. Obviously, recording this, we're still a couple short, but I still think 10th is a really good season compared to where we were last season. Obviously, them first 10 games were absolute horror show. Danny come in, steadied the ship, and yeah, he got us out of that mire, and we ended up staying up. So it's about progression now and building. But yeah, 10th would be absolutely fantastic. Rate the transfer dealings this summer. I'm gonna go for an 8th. Obviously, filming this, we're close to Ugbo. If we get that over the line, I push that onto a 9. I still believe a centre midfielder. We're short, and maybe another centre half. I think we get them in over the line. I think that's a solid 10 out of 10. Really rate how quickly we've got bodies in, and gone about it, and give Danny time to work with him and gel. Really rate that. Key player this season, I'm going to go for Masaba. He showed plenty of glimpses last season, and I believe this season he's really going to kick on after finding his feet in English football. I think he's going to go from strength to strength. He's my type of player that gets at the full back, and yeah, I think he'll up his goal ratio and assists, and yeah, he's just an exciting player to watch. So yeah, for me, Masaba. Thank you everyone for watching this video. If you'd like to contribute in the comments, answer the questions, by all means do so. It'd be great to get your input. I'm absolutely buzzing for Sunday. Get back in Hillsborough with a place rocking. The football season is back. Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing for it. Thank you everyone for watching. Please smash that like button. Drop a subscribe. Football is back. Come on, Wednesdays!